Hoy va a estar con nosotros, señoras y señores, aquí Joe, el hombre que nos financia a nosotros los sandbaleros. Preguntas con relación a algún préstamo que usted pretenda hacer, por qué los intereses suben y bajan, cuál es el mes pues, más recomendable para comprar botes, si hay alguno. Pues hoy es la pregunta. Después de usted comprar un bote, ¿en cuánto puede volver a refinanciarlo? Señores, cualquier tipo de preguntas. Tenemos un profesional aquí en vivo ya mismito para contestar todas las dudas que tengamos.
Good evening, Joe. How you doing, man?
How's it going, buddy?
Nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you.
Yo, my name is Miguel. He's Carlos.
Hey, Carlos.
I am Carlos. I'm Sonecom. So
Right.
you and I probably we're gonna have very
How you
good
doing?
conversations.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Thank you for being a part of that live, yo. Thank you for being a part of that live. Appreciate you. You know, it's I do this with Sonecon every single night. Every night. That's if I'm not doing nothing that night, you know, I can stay here. But most of the time, Monday to Friday, Saturday, Sunday, no matter what day, I'm here just for part of my group, you know.
Yeah.
You know, talking about the boats, rules, you know, all that kind of stuff. I'm talking a lot about finance, but
Right.
you're the man. So I hope boat life forever. A lot of people say hi, yo, right now. So a lot of people maybe have question for you, but I have some question. Maybe people have interest for that question. So Neko, le estoy metiendo el inglés, papá.
I am. Yeah, Joe. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Luis is dominating the English, my man. I am impressed.
Yeah.
So if somebody have question, cuando ustedes me preguntan a mí sobre interés, señores, esa es la persona que me ayuda a mí a entender las cosas para yo mencionárselas a ustedes. Si tienen alguna pregunta, please, pónganlo en los comentarios para nosotros decirle a él, Joe, one question for you.
Joe, you see the chat questions?
Yes. What is the best rate now? So
yeah, let me place that here.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, we got a very good platform, so I control the whole thing, so I can put the questions there, so you can read them.
Okay.
What's the best rate right now?
Right now, at excellent credit, I still have a few rates in the high 5% range, but the Fed went up today again, which is probably going to affect the banks tomorrow or the next day. So pretty much everyone's going to be in the sixes across the board.
So that's happened last month, right? Last 30 days ago.
Yeah, and the Fed went up today another 0.5%. Today
another half.
Yes. So that'll trickle. I have about 18 different banks. So I'll start getting new rate sheets starting tomorrow, you know, for all the banks. They come in one by one.
Ok, él dice que él trabaja con 18 diferentes bancos. Sonecon, te toca a ti, esa es la parte tuya, papá.
Yeah, I'm translating. So, él trabaja con 18 bancos y dependiendo de su caso, él le corre. So, Joe, let me explain the process. So, you get the prospect, you fill out the application.
Correct.
You run the profile of the prospect, and then you go and find the best rate for that of your 18 banks that you have your resources.
Yeah, I don't shop them around. Once I look at their credit, their down payment, the age of the boat, I can tell them exactly what bank I'm going to before I submit it. So they'll know the rate, the payment, everything up front before I even submit it.
Okay.
So, señores, esto que acabamos de escuchar,
ya él sabe el pago.
Súper importante. Ahí. What I hear right now, guys, is an expert. Tú sabes, no es como un dealer que vamos a ver quién es el que más nos da. Vamos, no, ese señor, cuando tira el número, señores, 99%, después que él tiró la solicitud, es aprobado. Yo no he tenido uno que sea denegado después que él dice, sí, hay negocio con él. No ha habido
Lo
uno.
que lo que yo está explicando, que acaba de decir, es que cuando él hace el profile del candidato, le coge el crédito, ya él sabe, mediante el crédito que usted tiene, cuánto va a ser su pago. Y entonces, en ese proceso, entonces, como ya él sabe, como él tiene su software, que tiene pone su profile, entonces él viene y procesa a los candidatos. So, once you profile, Joe, once you profile the customer, when you profile the potential customer, then you go through your algorithm software, then you know what exactly is going to be the payment, then you go out and then you spread out your resource to the banks that you have, right?
Yeah, I typically just go to one bank. I would only go
Okay.
to 2 or 3 if necessary, but I normally just go to one bank, and that's, that's it.
Ok, otra pregunta que tiene
Okay, there is
Bold Life.
a question here, Joe. I got a 2022 19-foot Yamaha jet boat at a 699 15-year. Might have a better rate.
Probably not, because you're in the sixes now, and the more you borrow, the better the rate. Like if you get over 100,000, for example, the higher you go, the better the rate. So on a boat like that, I'm assuming it's a smaller balance. That's probably where he's probably going to want to stay where he's at.
Yes. Eso es lo que yo les digo a ustedes a veces, que hablen con alguien profesional, porque a veces ustedes compran algo menos de $100,000 y les va a salir igual que gastando uno por 120,000 o 125,000, porque el porciento, mientras más es, el porciento es menos. So, ustedes pueden tener un bote con un pietaje más grande por un precio, tú sabes, que lo tiene un jetboat o algo así. So, él tiene la razón en eso. Hay otra aquí. Joe, what is the how were you not getting the best rate? How do I know I'm getting the best rate? Ponlo abajo, por favor. El de Bold Life.
Well, if you're over 800, that's going to start at your best rates. Then it goes 760 to 799 would be your next best rates, and then 740 to 759. But anything over 800 is going to be your absolutely best rates.
Do you think it's skin going up?
Oh, I believe they're going to keep going up all of next year.
Wow.
I don't even think they've dented the inflation yet myself. So they're going to probably go up, I would say at least halfway through 2023, if not all of 2023, unfortunately.
So, Joe, here's a good question. What is the maximum financing amount to avoid income verification?
I can do up to 250,000. There's one bank that advertises up to 300, but that one is very case by case. You have to show at least 5 years boating history in your credit bureau of loan amounts 100,000 or higher. So 250 is the highest. 300 is case by case.
Okay, so let me explain that in Spanish. So, Bow Life hace una pregunta. ¿Cuál es el máximo dinero en financiamiento sin que te hagan income verification? Así que tú tienes que enseñar pruebas de cuánto tú ganas, de tu financiamiento, de tus financials, de tu IRS. Tienes que tener 5 años. 5 años de historial de préstamos de embarcaciones positivo. Ya con eso y con los criterios del crédito, pues no entra en verificación de income. Thank you, Joe.
Okay.
I have Willie Reira. Pon el de he say, Joe, Miguel, me is your number one promotion in the Hispanic market.
I believe that. Yes.
Yeah, we promote. So this caption here that I'm going to show, you want to refinance, call 305-240-0948. That's Luis' number.
Nice. Yeah, we're going to have some refinance opportunity when they finally get a handle on the inflation and the rates start coming back down. Anybody buying a boat today would be able to refinance.
Ok, so, mi gente, miren lo que él habla acá. I'm translating, Joe. So, lo que él habla de decir, usted compra una embarcación a un interés alto ahora. Cuando la inflación esté bajo control y empieza a bajar los intereses, usted tiene la oportunidad de refinanciar. Eso fue lo que hizo Miguel. Miguel refinanció su embarcación. Miguel refinanció su bote y bajó el interés, bajó el pago a solo de tener un pago de 3 dígitos, de tener un pago de 4 dígitos, bajó un pago de 3 dígitos. Y ahí tiene la oportunidad. So, eso es lo que él está hablando. O sea, usted no, si usted tiene usted tiene concern de que el interés está alto, que si de esto, cuando bajen las tasas de interés, tiene la oportunidad de refinanciar. Y ahí es donde entra el refinanciamiento y baja el interés, baja los pagos, que fue lo que hizo Miguel con su embarcación.
Joe, you have 1 month better the other ones for buy a boat, or every month, is different?
Every month is different. We were the same rates for 15 plus years. In March of this year, we started going up, and it's been almost every month since March.
Wow.
Yeah, we were in the 3 to 4% range in March. Now we're in the sixes, and we keep going up.
Wow. Él dice que estaban los mejores, por 15 años corridos, estaban en los intereses de 3%, y desde marzo ya han subido hasta 6, 7, y piensa subir. Él dice que puede parar hasta mitad del año que viene. Hasta mitad del año que viene. After you purchases a boat, when you can refinance in that case.
Usually after 6 payments have been made, you can refinance.
Perfecto, señores. Después que usted compre un bote y usted lo compró alto en un interés alto, después de los 6 pagos, usted puede refinanciar. Pregunta, señores. Ok, pon la de Miguel Oliveira.
Estoy buscando aquí.
La cuarta.
La cuarta para ti, pero yo veo.
Are you expect to pay a down payment?
Oh, here we go.
Okay.
Only if you're upside down in your boat. If you owe more than the boat is worth, when they're going to do a blue book when you go to refinance. And if you owe $100,000 and your blue book value is only $90,000, then yes, you would have to buy the loan down to get closer to the blue book value. If your value is good, then you don't have to put any money down.
Okay, let me translate now. So, es como todo, es como cuando tú estás comprando un vehículo. Si el valor del Blue Book o NADA value está por debajo de el préstamo que está cogiendo, ya lo que se llama el upside down. O sea, debe más o es más costoso de lo que quiere refinanciar, pues tiene la diferencia, usted tiene que ponerle en cash.
Okay, Joe, when someone wants to buy a boat, cuando alguien quiere comprar un bote, how I know this is the right price for that boat? ¿Cómo tú sabes que ese es el precio correcto de ese bote?
Yeah, well, I'm going to do a blue book value myself. Then the bank is also going to do their own values, and then the last piece is a survey. The survey is going to tie all the values in. If you're overpaying for a boat, we're going to let you know that the values are not lining up.
Explícalo, Sonesco.
So, el valor de es lo que yo estaba hablando, que el valor del NADA y de Blue Book tienen que alinearse. Si no se alinean, no. Es lo que nosotros siempre hablamos. ¿Cuánto vale mi bote? Nosotros lo corremos por el Blue Book o por el NADA, que eso lo puede hacerlo online. Y mediante a eso.
No es el precio que ponga la gente, es el precio que el banco sabe. Yo quisiera vender el bote mío en $500,000, pero cuando voy para el banco va a decir, no, tú no vas a ese bote, no vale eso. So, siempre es bueno llegar con alguien así que sepa, porque él mismo te va a decir, no, ese bote no vale tanto. So, yo no te puedo hacer ese préstamo. Question.
Okay, so let me translate this question. What are the requirements to refinance now that I have a high interest, but my credit on that time it was not the best?
It's better now. He says
It's better now. I have better
the
credit now
credit
than
is
it was
better.
before.
We just start off with a one-page credit application. If you're under that 250 threshold, then where I was saying you don't need income unless they ask for it. But if you have good credit and the loan amount is under 250, you could always go on just a one-page credit app, as long as you have good credit.
Héctor,
Héctor,
para eso
dale,
es que
Miguel.
estoy yo. Para eso es que estoy yo. Todas esas preguntas, tú me llamas a mí cuando... Así yo brego con Joe. Mira, así yo brego con Joe. When someone wants to call Joe, that's why I put my phone number. First, you guys call me. And I had some interview. I know the question he asks me all the time. So this question, I have some for you before I send you to him. So when I send you to him, I'm almost 50% sure you approve with him. That's why I say all the time, call me first, and I talk to you guys, before I send you to you. So, si necesitas más información con esa pregunta, se puede hacer. No hay ningún tipo de problema. Llámame y te contacto con él para que empieces el proceso y bajes ese interés, brother.
So looks like boat life is serious. What will be the loan structure of a brand new boat at 220,000, 70 grand down payment, 150,000 to finance at 20 years? And let's assume that you have great credit. Let's not say perfect. Let's say great credit. Below great credit. Let's say 740 to 780. What will be those numbers on your best on your best good faith assumptions?
Okay, so
I got it here. 220 grand, 70 grand down payment, 150,000 to finance at 20 years.
So if you borrow 150,000 right now at 20 years, your payment is going to be about $1,120 a month.
It's not bad.
Not at all.
No, because that's my payment for. It's not bad. No está malo ese pago por esa cantidad de dinero. Y después de 6 meses, tú puedes volver a refinanciar y ese pago te va a bajar a 900 y pico de seguro.
So after 6 months, Joe, if the interest rates comes down, he has the option to go and refinance, right?
Absolutely. Yes.
The down payment for every new boat is the same for everyone, or you can take low for this one or more higher for that one, depend the credit. Or 20% for each one, 10%, 50%. How you working with that?
On brand new boats, they actually look for a little bit more down on versus a used boat. On new boats, they normally look for 15 to 20% down. On used boats, it can be anywhere from 10% to 20% down for used boats.
The most down payment.
The new boats is 15 to 20, and used boats 10 to 15. Am I right?
Correct.
Okay, mi gente. So
used boats are 10 to 20. New boats are 15 to 20.
Ok. Si usted quiere comprar un bote usado, el requerimiento del down payment de 10% a 20%. Si un bote nuevo, de 15% a 20%. Eso es lo que le acaba de informar ahora.
¿Cuál sería el año que uno puede comprar un bote usado? ¿Hasta qué año llegamos?
So what is the oldest year that you can refinance a boat?
I would try to stay within 20 years or newer. Once you we have a few banks that'll do up to 30 years, okay. But it's once you get over 20, it's case by case. Most of our banks like 15 years or newer.
Ok, so la mayoría de los bancos de 15 años para arriba por encima de los 15 años, es case by case, es caso a caso, analizado. Recuerden que el survey es lo que determina el valor de su bote al momento de refinanciamiento. So, on a case by case, voy a hacer la pregunta ahora en inglés. On a case by case, so the bank will require like an beforehand survey, basically of the boat before going and going through the paperwork.
Yeah, the nice thing is there's no charge to get pre-approved. So
Okay.
I submit them to the bank. The bank will tell you, you know, what the rate is, if they need a survey or a sea trial or a haul out. If they want to proceed with the approval, then they go ahead and schedule the survey and get everything taken care of. If they don't like it for any reason, there's no charge and we just withdraw the deal.
Okay, I got a good question. Everybody in United States can buy a new boat?
Yes, yes. They want you to be a citizen if the boat is U.S. Coast Guard documentable, which is normally 28 feet or bigger and loan amounts over 100,000. You could be anywhere in the U.S., but if you have to Coast Guard document it, you have to be a citizen. If you buy a smaller boat and you're not a citizen, you can state title it, but it has to be a smaller boat with a smaller loan amount.
There you go. Eso era lo que I'm going to translate that. But we were talking, Joe. We were talking about early this week. Last week we were talking about that subject.
Yes.
So everything above 28 U.S. citizenship because of the risk of fly out.
Correct.
Because the boat has a range that you can go in international waters and then fly out. Fleet
Right.
out.
Yes.
So that's something that Miguel was explaining to it about it. So that's
Boat Life
okay.
have a good question. Maybe
Okay. So
you
let
can answer
me
that question, Joe.
paste it here. Joe, based on your experience, what are the boat brands that hold their value the best for the refinancing or resale? It's a very good question.
I mean, there's so many boat brands out there. Boston Whaler, you've got CV, you've got Yellowfin, Contender, Cobia is a good boat. There's so many out there. The boats we have
Miguel, dame un
problems.
segundo.
Go ahead.
No. I'm just telling
That's
Miguel.
all.
I gotta step out for a second.
The boats we have problems with that are newer manufacturers where there's no values or they're only a couple years old. If it's a well-known boat brand like the ones I mentioned, you should be okay.
Voy a hacer una pregunta en español. Se la voy a hacer a ustedes primero. Si alguien compra una embarcación y le trajo problemas de garantía, ¿quién se hace responsable? ¿Quién es el que se hace responsable? ¿El banco, el dealer o etcétera? Yo, when someone buy a boat and this boat for some reason have problem in a month, 2 months later, 6 months later, who is in charge for repair that boat? Because a lot of people call me, Miguel, I have some problem. The company don't want to, answer the phone. The dealer chief is no responsibility. Who is in that charge?
It would all fall back on the dealer, who they bought it from. If it's a new boat, it's supposed to be under warranty. If it's a used boat with no warranty, it'll fall on the buyer.
I can go to who? To the dealer or the bank? Because a lot of people say, "Oh, I don't want to continue paying that. Nobody else, nobody fixed my boat, blah blah blah."
Well, if you don't have something in writing, if it's a used boat that's 10 years old and something breaks, there's no warranty. That would be on the buyer. And if the dealer promises anything, you got to make sure you have something in writing. Otherwise, you have nothing.
Okay, so it's the dealer chief.
It's the dealership.
Dealers, señores, si tienen algún problema en algún momento con su bote bajo garantía, es el dealer, no es el banco. If there any way to avoid naming the boat if you're documented, you can read it.
The Coast Guard does want you to put a name on it. I had a boat one time where I had it for a short period and I ended up not putting a name on it, but you're technically supposed to put a name on the boat per the Coast Guard.
Es mandatorio, señoras y señores, poner un nombre después que pase de 30 pies por la documentación del Coast Guard. Es mandatorio. ¿Alguna otra pregunta, señoras y señores? El tiempo de ese caballero es oro y nos regaló el tiempo de él. No quiero que esté aquí en silencio porque se puede enfriar, ¿me entiende? Y no quiero ponerlo incómodo. La primera vez, señores, la primera vez, the first time I meet you.
Yes.
La primera
the first
vez.
time, the first time you see him, in person.
Yeah. Well, no, he blew by me on the water one time in Bimini, but he was going so fast that I didn't get to see him. My wife recognized him as we were leaving Bimini. He was going by.
We always hang together. My boat it has a crazy wrap on the side.
Yeah.
But we always hang out together.
Irán Rolón tiene una pregunta.
Okay, so let me place it here. I recently bought a boat. I recently brought a boat. If I want to trade it for a bigger boat, how long will be a good for me to wait?
I mean, you could trade it in 2 days after you bought it if that's something you want to do. The longer you wait, the less your trade value is going to go down. So, I mean, you can do it 1 week later if you wanted to.
When somebody want to sell his boat, he changed paint, he changed seat, he changed motors. That value is going up or still with the blue market say?
Well, normally your value,
because sometimes, because sometimes some boats, he got GPS new, 6 new, but the book don't know that. So the survey guy can go up with that price.
Yes, but the banks always go off of the blue book, whatever favors the bank. So now, for the first time in our life, we had boats go up in value during the pandemic. It was something we may never see again. You could have bought a boat 2 years ago and sold it for a profit 2 years later. But this was a very strange time in our life that we may never see again.
And this time continue right now, or does it stop?
It's starting to come down, now with the rates going up. But for during the whole pandemic, all the people I financed 2 years prior, they were all selling their boats for a profit. Their RVs, their boats, the cars, the automobiles, everything was going for more money than they were worth. That is starting to finally slow down.
Why you different? Why you have different rates, and why you demand? Why everybody call me for your business? You different with the other people in the dealership?
I would say yes. I try to build relationships, friendships. I try to just take care of people so they appreciate that, and I give them the best service that I can, so they'll also refer me to their friends and family. And it's all about relationships in the boating business, in the boating world.
I have the last question, guys. Joe is, had the time for tonight, and this is the last question for you, Joe. Thank you so much.
Yeah. What is the best source of interest? So on a bigger boat over $100,000, they're going to use Buck, which is BUC. It's the blue book. If it's under 100,000, they use NADA guides. And then last would be comps, like comparables from Boat Trader or Yacht World. If it's not in Blue Book or NADA guides, they're going to look for some comparables that are normally the same year or like 1 year newer, 1 year older. We call that comparables, like comps. But over 100 is Blue Book, under 100 is NADA guides. If it's not in either, we try to find comps. If it's a boat that was built in somebody's backyard and we can't find anything, that's when it's hard to finance.
Okay. Explícale eso, Nescom, please.
Lo que él está explicando es que los bancos, la agencia, cuando llegan a ese punto, usan diferentes resources. Boat Trader, Yacht World, todos esos resources para ver el valor, que es el promedio, el valor de la embarcación, para ver si el valor de la embarcación entonces está al promedio mediante si tú tienes motores de tantas horas, si tú tienes estos accesorios, si tú tienes estos accesorios, para poderte aprobar mediante a la cantidad de dinero que usted está pidiendo, que usted quiere. Joe, man, thanks a lot to coming on board with us, my man.
Joe, gracias por la participación, Joe. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I would love to do it again. I hope you guys have me back. Like I said, this has been fun. I have more time if you need it. If you want me to come back, I'm more than happy.
Thank you so much. I will contact you. Call you tomorrow.
All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you. Nuevas entrevistas vendrán. Estoy tratando de conseguir a un Coast Guard para hablar sobre regulaciones y cuáles son las normas que más o menos ellos exigen para uno portarse todo el tiempo bien con las reglas. So, nuevas entrevistas toda la semana. Nuevas entrevistas toda la semana. Ya tenemos 2 semanas corridas y van a venir más con informaciones que ustedes son los que hacen el chat, señores. Ustedes son los que hacen las preguntas. Yo personalmente me tengo que ir, Sonescon ya. Y nada, nos veremos mañana, si Dios lo permite. Que descansen y estamos aquí presentes.
Vamos, saludos, mi gente. Dios lo bendiga.
Dale,
Buenas noches.
llámame que te busco.